This is Grid Legends, a new racing game by Codemasters and EA out as of yesterday on the Quest 2. Just kidding. This is gameplay from Gran Turismo 4 actually on the PlayStation 2. It came out almost 20 years ago. It's actually the first video game I ever played, and I thought it would be fun to show you first so you could compare the graphics. Alright, now this is actually Grid Legends. I did not have early access, which is why this review is a little late, so without wasting any more time, let's dive in. Grid Legends was originally a flat screen game, and now a dumbed down version has been ported to the Quest 2. It sells for $29.99 and it takes up about 30 gigabytes of space, so if you're like me and have a 64 gigabyte Quest 2, you're gonna have to delete a lot of stuff to install it. You drive a wide variety of cars in 7 different locations. You can play through the campaign, hop into a quick race, or use the multiplayer matchup for both co-op and versus modes. There are VR games that have mechanics that are just the best and they're unparalleled in their genre. For example, when I think of archery game mechanics, I always compare them to In Death Unchained because they have the best bow mechanics. In my opinion, V-Speedway Alpha sets the standard for racing games. Despite being more basic, it's a title on App Lab by a solo developer. It offers the most immersive driving experience I've encountered on the Quest 2. It utilizes full motion controls and it just works great. I had high expectations for EA. You have to remember, they're worth over $30 billion, so they should know what they're doing, but I was disappointed to find out that Grid Legends lacks motion controls. Instead, you use a traditional joystick on the left controller for steering, and a trigger on the right controller for acceleration. Reverse is activated with the left trigger, the e-brake with A on the right controller, and you could rewind time with B. While I have seen similar mechanics in other racing games, I expected more from such a big studio. The game's potential is hindered by a development team that just doesn't seem to know how to work in VR. I actually saw on Reddit yesterday that a member of Team Beef analyzed the metrics of Grid Legends and found out the game runs at only 36 Hertz, which is equal to 36 frames per second, but it employs space warp to artificially achieve 72 frames per second. Additionally, the resolution has been significantly reduced, even lower than what the Quest 1 would typically run on. Put simply, the graphics are just not very good. At the end of the day, Grid Legends definitely has some shortcomings, the graphics and lack of motion controls being the biggest. I still believe it's better than a lot of the other racing games on the Quest 2, but it's not clear if this is due to a lack of competition or if the game truly has value. If you could overlook the drawbacks mentioned, it could be worth trying out. One of the great things about the Quest Store too is that you could return a game if you haven't played it for more than 2 hours. So if you're interested in racing games, it may be worth giving Grid Legends a try. If you're looking for a game with better graphics, I've also linked a video here and in the description that shows how you can play PC VR games without a gaming PC. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Andy's VR Reviews.